Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this gorgeous Monday morning. I am flying solo at the moment. Angela's having a few technical issues, so I said I would come in and start the session, and she will join us as soon as she can. We usually start with a musical interlude, so let's get today's going. So Angela's still to join us, so let's say some good mornings. So morning, Evelyn, how are you? Morning, Jackie. I guess you're working in the background as well. Morning, Judy. Morning, Ellis. Morning, Safia. Morning, Sarah. Lovely for you to join us. I know today's your first session, and we'll talk through the logistics of how it works and stuff in a second. And then finally, morning, Trisha. So let's go through some of the comments. So Sarah, you can see us presenting to you, but we won't be able to see you, so don't worry about that. There should be a chat box for you to type your comments into. If you go to Gogglefrogs Facebook page, that's where you can upload your pictures of your works in progress. And usually about 12:30 we go through what people have put on the site recently. So going through the chat box at the moment, Trisha says morning, Trisha. Jackie says good morning, Jackie. Morning, Sarah. Hi, Judy. Sarah says, haha, love this. Trisha says, where do you find these? I spend about an hour a day looking through YouTube trying to find an appropriate song. And I discovered that when I just typed in knitting songs. Safia says, haha, brilliant. Morning, Safia. Evelyn says, morning, I'm so happy my plant's coming tomorrow. Morning, Evelyn. Where did you get your plants from? I'm desperate for some hanging baskets. Sarah says, love the dancing. Oh, thank you. I call it dad dancing because that's all I can really do. And sat on my sofa as well. There's not an awful lot I could do. So there we go. Safia says, knit a tea cozy. Yes, I did notice they did mention knitting a tea cozy. Judy says, what a gem. Where was that hiding? On YouTube. And did you see Tom Daly's knits yesterday? No, I didn't. Do tell me more about that, and I will go and have a look around. Marian's just joined. Morning, Marian. And Evelyn says, rush me. I may have some spare. It's proper, like all-in-one done hanging baskets that I'm looking for. But I have got an online order with B&Q, so maybe when I go and pick it up, they'll have something extra I can buy when I'm there. So I hope you all had a lovely weekend. For those of you who are looking at me and wondering what the hell is going on, I am in a tubular bandage at the moment, and I'm hoping it's just tendonitis. I think I got a bit carried away last week when I was crocheting for work, and then I went and did some stuff around the garden on top of lots of unusual housework last week. And then I was crocheting again on Saturday, and Saturday night it was just absolutely killing me. So I'm hoping a couple of days of rest and I'll be okay. What I have done is worked out what I'm going to be able to do while I can't knit or crochet. So I'm going to finish my Harry Potter castle, and then I'm going to try some sewing through the sewing machine to see if that's okay, or if not, then I have some more of bigger versions of these that I can do, which is just picking up and putting the gems in places. So do not fear, I shall still be crafting. Claire says good morning, Claire. Trisha says crochet for work, industrial injury. I did think that, however, I'm on furlough on full pay, so don't think I'm going to get away with making a claim somehow. Claire says excessive and furious crochet as done for my hook hand too. Yeah, it is about the third time that I've had it. The first time I had it was when I was doing this blanket behind me, and I spent hours and hours and hours doing it, and I thought it was just because I'd done like 6 hours of crocheting. And then the second time I did it was, I can't remember actually, but I do know that this is the third time, and I didn't even do that much, to be fair. That's all I've done, and it just seems to have really hurt. Claire says need some company. If you want to join me, Claire, that's lovely. Angela is rebooting her laptop and then doing updates and stuff, so I'm not quite sure how long she's going to be. But yes, please do jump in and join me. Safia says it will have been the housework. Don't do that again. Hope it gets better soon. Yeah, I did try telling Gary yesterday that it was the housework that had caused it, but he was like, no, Robert, it's your crafting. You're doing too much of it. Judy says, can't remember where I saw Tom Daly, usually BBC News Channel, made a poncho for his son. I think.
Hello.
Angela. Oh, right, okay. I will Google that in a second and see if I can find it. And Claire says, righto, so I think she's coming to join us as well. We've missed a lovely introduction, Angela. We played the Bill Oddie knitting song.
I'm going to have to listen to the replay then, aren't I?
Unfortunately, I meant to tell you this, but unfortunately, the videos don't appear on the replay.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I got some feedback last week, and apparently it's so funny because on Friday I was dancing around and people were tuning into the replay and going, what the hell were you doing?
We learn as we go along.
So yes, we had the Bill Oddie knitting song, and I've been through the chat. I've said good morning to everybody. I've explained what's going on with my hand. So,
I hope you're feeling better soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. The thought of being stuck at home for the next few weeks and having limited crafting is kind of a bit. I think I might be okay once it settles down. I might be okay to start knitting again because that seemed to be okay last week. But in the meantime, I have said that I'm going to go back to Lego. I might try and do some cutting with a cutting knife rather than scissors fabric to do my cushions. Right. And then I have some larger versions of these dotty gem things to do. So because that is just literally using a pencil in effect to move the gems, that might be okay. So there we go. So how was your weekend?
My weekend was lovely, thank you. Yes. Apologies, I had to log back off and log back on because we were getting some really bad, weird feedback, weren't we, from my side. So I still think there's a little bit, so we'll check and see what we can do to try and change that. Hello, Claire, you're right.
Hello, Claire.
Oh, hello. Fabulous to see you. Yeah, but my weekend was really lovely. I had a really, really quiet day. I did some crochet, so I've done a little bit more now. And that's nearly the first. Oh, God. I'm just going to try one more thing so we can get better sound.
Claire, how was your weekend? Claire?
Are you on mute?
A couple of attempts to unmute it. Oh, I'm hearing myself twice now. Weekend was nice.
How was your weekend?
It was mostly in. Finishing up some work because it's the first day of term today. That's where I was. Well, this morning I was having a big massive shop and answering some emails. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm glad you had a lovely time.
So on Saturday, we spent the morning session talking about the online wall show. So did either of you succumb and order stuff?
No, not yet. I haven't even had time to sit down and look through that website. So I will be doing soon. But I thought I'm having a day just to get some crochet done because I'd really like to get on with this. And then I cooked us a really nice dinner. I know what I'm buying.
What would that be?
Where's my little book on? You know my little book, Evil Plans and Stuff? So I wrote down all of
Yeah.
the little websites. So we're going to send an email out probably by tomorrow, just trying to capture them. But mine was Sea Sheet by Felt Fusion. It was that lovely green and pink wool. And I think I'm going to treat myself to some nice stitch marks as well. But I know that a few people posted and said that they were buying stuff. So yeah, I haven't bought yet. Have you succumbed, either of you?
I get the impression from
what about you, Claire?
going around the site that it actually might be available for a little while, because it's one of the pages, one of the rooms said more information to be uploaded in the community. So I'm hoping that we can do it.
So,
gorgeous.
You get paid on Friday.
Oh. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, I absolutely love the colours there. I don't know how it will work. I don't know what pattern it would be best for, but the colours are just so stunning in that. That's something that can happily go in stash forever until I find something. I can.
Do you know what you could do? So I've just read it's 400 meters on a skein. So if you bought 2 skeins, the shawl that you're wearing at the moment, you could do that in that wool, and then it'd be like a spring evening shawl.
Very good idea.
Because that one is in a double knit, whereas that's sock yarn, so it'll be slightly lighter and cooler.
Yes, that would be nice.
And it's such a simple pattern, and it grows so quickly.
And this is a really nice pattern, isn't it? To just in front of the television, whereas I could do this scarf while I'm watching all of my Scandinavian noir, crime, thriller things where I'm constantly reading subtitles.
It is just garter
I know.
stitch. It is just plain garter stitch, apart from the beginning and the end. So, Claire's gone to reboot. So,
that's all right. Whereas I do find that crochet is lovely, but I can't read subtitles at the same time as trying to find out where to stick my hook.
Right, Brigitte says, morning. Sorry, a bit late, went for a long walk and wished the grandson happy birthday. And then she disappeared and came back and said, that is so Angela. I think she's talking about the wall. So, morning, Brigitte. Marion says, I bought a pair of earrings, emailed the store holder and printed out a couple of patterns.
Perfect.
Morning, Marion. And Tracy's just joined as well. Morning, Tracy.
Oh. And if you don't already know, this beautiful scarf, this shawl is what Robert knitted me for my birthday and stayed up until 2 a.m. in the morning of the day of my birthday finishing it off. So this is very special, and I thought I would wear it today.
Lovely. Thank you.
Welcome back, Claire.
Welcome back.
It worked. That fixed it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Robert, about your wrist. I've been having the same problem, but I've been crocheting furiously. Now, I have had my carpal tunnel done. I'm not saying that's yours, but I can still play it up if I overdo it. So I purely sympathise, and that's where I got by the end of last week.
Well, we're not sure what it is at the moment because it was over the weekend, so I haven't sought medical advice. I have had it before, so I'm hoping it is just tendinitis rather than carpal tunnel. But my sister-in-law had carpal tunnel 16 years ago and had to have an operation, and she's about to have a second operation.
Yeah, it can do. You're effectively.
So I'm really hoping that's not what it is.
Yeah. But even if it is, you can remedy it. The surgery is the last resort, but it probably is. I mean, if you did anything else for hours at a time, something is probably going to ache. So Yeah, just because it's crochet, people don't always think it could be RSI.
No, and to be honest, I did the patio on Friday, so that was the pressure washer in my hand for 2.5 hours while I did the front and the back. So it could be the vibration of that. And then the week before I did the garden, which was another 2 hours. So it could be the vibration from that as well. So on top of all the crocheting.
Yeah, none of that's going to help.
So we'll see. Hopefully it will calm down.
Claire, I just wanted to remind you that I am using this.
Hey. Are you...
this is what... Huh?
Sorry, I was about to say, are you home or still at your folks?
No, I'm still at my folks. This is one of the... I brought one small suitcase and 5 crafting bags with me.
Brilliant.
And this was in one of the crafting bags. So it's just perfect. It's got my... It fits everything in. So it's got my evil plans and stuff. We don't have evil plans. It's just really good ideas. So we've got that. I've got all my crochet hooks in there that are from 0.5 upwards. And then I've got the obligatory charger.
Of course.
Because I've been trying to be as eco-friendly as possible. I'm still on an iPhone, an old iPhone, still trying not to upgrade too quickly. I've got my patterning ball, a spare ball of wool, pens. It is absolutely perfect. And when you're on the go, if you really want to crochet and put your stuff in there, you can while you're on the go. So it's really, really good. I designed this and I just thought I'd show you that, yes, I'm still in Leeds and will be for a few weeks yet.
Yeah.
But I brought the essentials.
Very good. No, I just didn't recognise the change of room.
Yeah, I'm now... I thought I may as well try by the broadband.
Oh, you have broadband now.
Yes, my parents never had broadband in their life. Never had a computer, no nothing. So now we've installed that. It's great. We've been able to watch catch-up TV on Sky. So yeah, all really, really exciting stuff. And it means I'm not spending shed loads on mobile data as well.
No, of course.
That's good.
Yeah.
This weekend I've also been making...
So what's that lovely?
This weekend I was also making masks for the in-laws because he's sort of my father-in-law. But they're not married, but we'll go with father-in-law. Has had several strokes. So they were asking after masks and things. And I says, well, I make no medical promises, but I will get busy. And so I did yesterday afternoon. So I shall be posting them up to them today. And I have to say, while I make no medical promises about COVID, the one I wore this morning was brilliant for hay fever. So I was well happy. Yeah. Yeah, because I've used as a lining a very fine weave cotton. So that was actually quite a revelation. So I was very pleased about that.
Good. And I was just about to say, both of you have got new stuff in the background.
Yeah, that's the other side of the same quilt.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm kind of in the same spot, really. It's just that I'd only just got in at about 10 o'clock, so I had to have a very quick run around and organise and throw a blanket over the boxes.
And then, Angela, is that your shawl that you finished last week?
It's still not blocked, but it is intact with lovely little pom-poms. So, yes. And it just, when you look at the size of it for one ball, batik swirl, I think it's going to be, I know, it's huge. It's one ball, 10 quid. I mean, that is brilliant. And it is so soft. Really, really soft and drapes beautifully. So Stylecraft, yes. With that, I'm on this, which is the linen drape. I am getting converted actually. I've never used Stylecraft. I do have Stylecraft in my stash somewhere. I've never made a garment out of it. So I am really impressed. So I have to say.
I used to be quite an acrylic snob until I bought an Attic 24 kit. So that's all Stylecraft special, and it's all acrylic, but it doesn't actually feel scrubby and gritty. It's really nice stuff. So I'm actually kind of converted. And that's why I talk about Stylecraft quite a lot, because it's the only cheap yarn I like. But I have been looking on the Spotted Sheep site at some of their free wrap patterns that go with the batik swirls. And yes, I might be investing at the end of the week.
Fabulous. Anything that you've got your eyes on?
Well, it's probably going to be batik swirl again, but I'm undecided as to colour. And I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the shawls, but they've got 2 shawl patterns that are really good for batik swirls. I think they're written for batik swirls. And I fancy there was one. I'm undecided as to between them. So when I finally get my stuff sorted out, I will post it and let you know.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? Just looking around and getting different patterns to inspire you. But yeah, talking about batik swirl, that is Meadow.
Hey!
Oh, look at what Robert's got.
That purpley green one I like. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, I was umming and ahhing over that one.
So that's Stargazer.
Oh, I like that.
And then that one is Meadow, the same one that Angela's using. And then this last one.
That's different, isn't it?
That's Rainbow.
Yeah. Oh.
Which is unusual, because you would think that would be the rainbow.
That is.
And that would be something different, but that's the rainbow.
Wow.
And this looks like it's red, but it's more of a dark rose pink than red. So yeah, they're my 3 batiks.
The last one I made, I showed you this before.
The
last one I made.
Oh, is
that was the blue and green one. I can't remember what it's called, but it actually, when you're doing the virus shawl, it stripes up almost perfectly, which is interesting.
That's gorgeous. Well, I do think that this is true rainbow, true pride, true everything.
Yeah.
And you can't even see the colours, but that's a lovely bright mint green and beautiful. It's just like opal fruits.
Yeah.
Those are the colours, opal fruit colours.
Oh,
so
crikey.
if you want true rainbow, that's it.
Yes, well done.
It's beautiful, and it's so lovely to knit with as well. It's really beautiful, like crochet with. But yeah.
So just catching up on the chat, Brigitte says vitamin B, Robert. I guess that's about my hand. Sally has joined. Morning, Sally. She says you are so organised, Angela. She's not. She pretends to be, but she really is not. Sarah has come back as she was on the phone. Welcome back, Sarah. Tracy says, just got to find Jamie. Think he's got lost in the new school corridor at home as he's disappeared suddenly. Tracy, when you come back, let us know, because then I want to talk about what you did this morning. Safia says, love a bit of Stylecraft. She says, I have a swirl waiting to use.
Oh.
Trisha says, downloaded the Fair Isle Tea Cozy pattern from the free patterns in the Spring into Wall show. So if folk want to knit, then we can stick it together. Oh, just put the link in. So I'm just going to pull that up and we can have a look at it in a second.
Please.
Tracy says, I like those. I think she means the boutique as well. He says, well, your bag was organised then rather than you.
The what was organised?
Your bag.
Your bag.
Do you know what? It's really weird. I live in the... I am constantly doing 5, 10, 15 things at a time. And let's exclude this morning's event. I'm always early for this. But then I decided to restart and it didn't update. So that wasn't really my fault. I could have been more planned and done it last night, but never mind. But yeah, I just have lots and lots of things going at once, and sometimes I have to be reminded. But yeah, it's a really good bag. You can really organise yourself in it. So if you're not overly organised, it's just great to have people who design stuff.
It was a lovely one. I will. I'll find my one that you gave me for my birthday, Angela, because I really do like it. But it's downstairs at the moment. So, and I felt ever so special when it was given to me because of what's on it. So, yeah, I'll see if I can remember it for tomorrow. Right. So on the screen at the moment should be the tea cozy that Trisha's talking about.
I'm loving.
So I'm not sure whether that's Fair Isle or Intarsia, but you knit it in the round, and then I'm guessing you steek the handle and the spout.
And I can't remember the name of that wool. Not Smithies. I can't remember what that wool's called.
JC Rennie.
Sorry?
It's called JC Rennie.
Oh, no, I don't recognise that at all.
Yeah, it says there 5 JC Rennie 4-ply 10-gram mini balls in contrasting colours.
Oh, I'm liking that.
But yes, it is Fair Isle.
Yeah. It's 35 rows high and 56 stitches wide, I think. And then it's repeated around. Oh no, hang on. Sorry, it's 94 stitches round and 35 rows high.
Okay. Right, well, that is something that I will have to purchase.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
You know me, I love the teapot.
Oh look, and there's the picture of how to do the steek. So what I will do, Trisha, is I'm going to get Gary later to convert your steeking videos so that I can upload them to YouTube and then upload them to here so that we can have a look at them at some point during the week. So yeah, if anybody wants to do that, then we'll have the steeking videos available hopefully by the end of the week.
I think the bit
Trisha says, Tracy says, I'm back. Found Jamie. He was being attacked by the new school bully, aka the cat. Bad cat. Trisha says it's Fair Isle, but you can use any jumper weight yarn.
Super.
I don't think.
So Tracy, now that you've come back, in the comments, can you just type in what you did to Jamie this morning? I assume it was Jamie. You didn't actually name what child it was. But do tell everybody what you did this morning. Right, sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, no, don't worry.
You, but I don't know which
on
one.
my travels this morning, for those of you in Leighton Buzzard, on my travels this morning, I found the only flower in Leighton Buzzard. Right.
Oh, where was that?
What Morrison's are doing is their bakery department is bagging up bread flour in brown paper bags and selling it by the kilo. So, but bread flour is, flour is flour. We all have to make do, and frankly, you can almost certainly get a sourdough out of it if you don't have any yeast about. And actually, you can use bread flour for almost anything. So, flour is flour at the end of the day.
Pizza bases.
Yeah.
Pizza bases.
So, yeah, I walked up the aisle, saw the usual gap where the flour is, but then saw this lot there, and I was like, ooh. And somebody else down the aisle went, yes. And I went, ooh. So both I and Marion are now equipped with a bag of Morrison's 60p bread flour from the bakery. So I actually think that's really good of them. They didn't have to do that.
That's brilliant.
No.
So, and with flour, when you go to places like Italy, they don't use things like self-raising flour.
No.
So their kits are always denser than ours.
Right.
So flour is flour. It's going to be different. It's going to be much heavier, but you know, just embrace it.
Excellent. No, well done. Right, back to Tracy.
So Tracy this morning told her son he had to wear his school uniform to do his schoolwork, and he did.
Excellent.
She put a picture on Facebook of him sat there not looking very happy when she told him that she was joking.
Well, if I'm getting up and putting a frock on most days, I think that's really fair.
That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, that's genius.
Right, so we talked about the wall show.
Yep.
That is still on. So people can go and have a look. I will just post the link for those that may have missed it.
Oh, on another Leighton Buzzard shopping note, Aldi up on the Grovebury estate had ground almonds if you're making an eyedropper. Life is short of days as well.
However, Aldi on Grovebury Road yesterday had no wall left.
Did
Oh,
you
they had
okay?
one this morning.
No.
They had it this morning. Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I was in there at 8 this morning.
Oh,
Wow.
Didn't buy any because
I've got to go out later. I might.
I have plenty right now. I think I still have some in the cupboard from the last time Aldi did it, or maybe the time before that.
I've never actually bought any from Aldi, but I do know a very popular purple one that is still in my stash that I was gifted. So I have read from years and years ago. Yeah. So I've never actually bought Aldi wool, but I think that's really lovely that they've obviously gone out of stock so quickly.
Yeah.
With people crafting from home.
Yeah.
And that's really good. So hopefully there's lots of people around the UK.
Yeah.
Using Aldi wool and their packs and their gadgets and everything else because they're really good value.
They are. I always go and have a look, particularly with even down to things like their scissors and rotary cutters and stuff like that. You know, it's perfectly serviceable stuff they sell for a very reasonable price. I mean, I was looking at their fabric, their fat quarters as well. But to be perfectly honest, the only reason why I didn't buy anything is because there's actually nothing there that I really desperately needed, or I don't at least have two of already. So, you know, I will be making scrub bags at some point this week as well, and headbands for the NHS. But actually, I've already got plenty of fabric for that sort of thing at home. But if I didn't, that would be the place where I'd go.
Yeah. Really good value,
yeah,
isn't it?
It is. But at the Grovebury Road, where they've got their sewing bit by the door, but the yarn is right at the very back by the alcohol section. Comes to something when I navigate a supermarket by where the alcohol section is, but never mind. The yarn is right at the back on one of their aisles of stuff. But yeah, there was a fair bit of it this morning.
I just had a thought, Robert. Does that mean you've been in Aldi?
Yeah. Does that
You've
mean
been
what?
in
Sorry.
Aldi?
I went yesterday. Yeah, looking for wool for Marion and
Oh,
Brigitte.
right, okay. I just suddenly twigged because you hardly ever go to Aldi.
No.
Robert is not an Aldi person at all. I think he's been twice in your life.
It is
so
unorganised, but that's part of it.
He's been once.
Sorry.
You saw some, no, that's all right. You saw some salted caramel mince pies on the side, and you made a trip in there to see if they had any left, and they didn't. And then for wool, for Marion and Brigitte.
The honest truth of it is, yesterday I just had to get out of the house. I had a blazing row with Gary, and I had to get out of the house. So I went to the bottle bank, and then went to Screwfix to pick up an order, and as I was there, I thought, right, I'll go to Aldi and kill some more time.
Oh.
I say it was a blazing row. It was more like a one-sided in my head blazing row because I didn't actually verbally speak anything that I wanted to.
Oh, you walked away.
People.
Right, so let's. I'm going to bring up the Gogglefrogs page, and we're going to start going through some of the things that have been posted over the last few days. Hang on a second. I just need to close that one.
Sorry, Tracy says, "Oh God, it gets worse. He just called me Miss." Excellent. But that does now mean that you can put him into detention.
Oh yeah.
Right, so go through some of the Gogglefrog stuff. So there's a picture on the screen at the moment which Trisha has posted of a lovely cardigan with lambs on.
Oh, cute.
And she says, ordered the yarn for this little cardie for my friend's new grandson. Seems so appropriate with so many lambs out in the field now.
Excellent.
I don't.
And
Which
then,
site's that from?
it doesn't actually say.
What is it?
Called Shea Sheep.
Shea Sheep.
S-H-E-A.
And Jodie Long. Is that Jodie Long?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is beautiful.
So it's the latest knitting magazine. It's in the Knitter magazine as a download, apparently.
Oh wow!
Oh, okay. Brigitte has posted on the screen there. You can see some birthday cards for 2-year-old twins that she's stitched. Lovely as always, Brigitte.
Absolutely stunning. I can't believe how intricate her work is. Absolutely gorgeous.
We talked last week about the sheep using.
Oh, sorry, you've gone a bit garbled. You just want to repeat that?
Yeah. So we talked last week about the Hasako cotton wrap kit from the sheep. And Anastasia has posted in there to say she's ordered it, and it's coming. But it might be a while because it's got to go to a small Greek island.
Yeah.
So
I was at that wrap last week. It is just. I just think that the like what do you call them? The ruffles on it almost.
Yeah.
Are just so unusual. So Anastasia's going to be so happy when that arrives.
And then Claire has shared a post to do with the sewing bee from the patternpages.com. And series 6 starts on Wednesday. I'm so excited.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
And for those of you who were watching last week, Mary and I came up with a combined name for the after show that I'm going to host, which is called You Didn't Cut It. So we'll watch the live show 9 till 10, and then we'll do half an hour, a bit like The Apprentice You're Fired, of banter around what was on in the show. And I'll just carry on reading out the chat.
Very good.
Comments. So I'll post the link for that later. Angela's posted pictures of the yarn that's arrived from the sheep that she's using now.
And for those who don't know, it's the spotted sheep. It's the wool shop in Leighton Buzzard. You can just go onto their website, email them, and they will call you back once they've been able to pack whatever you want and send it out to you wherever you are in the world. As long as your borders are still open. Even to the point where I sent a picture and said, can you just put a few balls of wool together about these colours, which I said, of course. And for another one, I said, I've got a gift for somebody. They're wanting greys and teals. And they sent me a quick picture of 5 or 6 different types of wool and said, you choose. So I said, I'll have one of those cakes and 2 of those as well. And can I have a nice thing, crochet hook as well? So please just email them. They'll help you with whatever you want.
Yes, there are local yarn heroes.
They are. Also in Gogglefrogs, Georgie shared a video. We didn't get time on Saturday to show many videos, but she shared a video from Dee Hardwick, who is from the Bee Hexagon, the Garden Hexagon, and it shows a picture of, shows a video of all her latest work. So do have a look at that. And then we have a shared post from Just Cooking. We have a shared post from Blossom Crochet UK. Now, I was talking to on Saturday. I really like this. We think this is Sheepy's wall cake, and I love how the triangles opposite each other are the same, and they're opposite to the ones next to it. You see, there's grannies there. There's then trebles to finish it off, and you still do it in the round, which I think is just amazing.
But it alternates in quarters on the triangle, if you see what I mean. Sorry, that was a really hideous explanation. But no, I love that. I love that design. That speaks to me.
Yeah, and until this happened, that was on my to-do list.
I hadn't seen it.
Let's see. Linda Phillips has posted finished Starcraft cow cosmic. That's on the screen. See it?
Yes.
Wow, a lot of work in that. And we thought Lily.
Jenny Crow strikes again. Yeah.
It is. We were talking about Dorset buttons on Saturday, and this is the Dorset button keyring that Linda made at the convention last year. Beautiful. So simple, but effective. Oh, Angela.
I've already commented on them. Because I tell you what, I was actually looking at these and I thought I've got to make some for myself. So I need to double check if I have something similar to Curion at home already. So quite good. The one thing I love, actually, I've got my Noro magazines here. And when you go into them, they have this little explanation of every type of yarn in there. So and there is actually Curion in here. So Curion is originating with the Western crayon. The name couldn't be more fitting, with almost as many colour combinations as 120 colour box. With 100% wool is a true Noro classic. So it doesn't actually say what weight it is.
Yeah.
And I know I've got some at home. I think I might just have to buy some.
Jolly good.
But I love Korea.
And then, sorry.
Everything Noro. I love.
So Sally has posted a picture of her, I've forgotten what she called it now. Frilly something shawl. Frilly edge shawl. And she hadn't been keeping a record, so she had to frog, but luckily she'd put a frog line in place.
Well done.
So that was good.
Interested to know, actually, Sally, that looks as if you've used wool, a different colour wool, whereas I use what do you call it? Floss. What do you clean your teeth with? Dental floss. I use dental floss for mine. So yeah, interesting to see that you use wool.
I've seen other people use wool because all you do is put on a needle and thread it through, I guess.
Yep.
Because
with the dental floss, because it's waxed, it goes through your stitches so much easier. So and when you try and take it out, it's just so easy to take out. So that's why I've always used that.
On the screen at the moment is the Spring Rhapsody Blanket Cowl by Tonya Bush. That's a free Ravelry download. And I love the little flowers in there and the hearts. think that's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Oops, I think I just pressed the wrong button and stopped sharing instead of stop sharing a picture. So yes, so do keep posting your works on there, finished or in progress, and we will carry on showing them during future sessions.
Robert, I had a question for you.
Go on.
Noro blanket. What was the blanket like?
What was what?
You mentioned to me about a Noro blanket.
Oh, it was the crochet granny square using Ito.
Right, okay. I'll look through now, and then I can send you whatever book you need.
Oh, it's all right. I found it. I found it online.
Oh, right. Okay, that's fine.
That's how I knew what it was. The only reason why I wanted the pattern was to know what the wall was. But I found that.
That's fine.
So thank
That's
you.
okay. Because we were having a conversation about this Noro blanket that Robert wants to do, and he thought it was out of a book, and then it wasn't out of a book, so he asked me. So I've just brought my full magazines down for you. I was going to look through them all now and let you know, but you found it anyway, and you can find all of the Noro patterns online.
Shall I just try and find it now
Yeah,
to show
why
everybody?
not? Yeah.
Oh,
Beautiful.
There we go.
Beautiful.
that's
Yeah, so that's the one that I wanted to do. That's oh no, sorry, it was this one. This is
Right.
Adagio in the Noro but we're having problems getting hold of it. So I might do the Usico, which is that one. Or there was two colours that I was looking at. The Adagio, which is that one. But I quite like that because it's still got some bright colours in, along with some subtle tones. Because everything I tend to do, like this one behind me, tends to be quite bright. And I was worried that that one may still be too bright. But then, of course, we've got a problem with the hand. So until we know what's going on with the hand,
yeah, give it a few days. Let the inflammation go down a bit. Ibuprofen.
Yeah. Because this is the one that I've been looking at for quite some time. Now I do want to change the middle. I don't want that to be cream. I think it would be much better on a brown, like a darker brown. But then you then hand make all of these leaves around the outside in like reds and then in that brown. But that's beautiful, and
I just love
so those are
beautiful.
I know.
They're knitted, aren't they?
And they do just look so stunning. So that's one that I've been looking at now for years.
Yeah.
And I do love that, but I will do it in a different colour in the middle. Yeah, so that will be that will definitely be an investment piece.
Yeah.
I priced that one up, and that's a gift in the future.
Right, so catching up on the comments. So I think we got to Trish saying where the pattern was, so it was in the knitter for the tea cozy. Brigitte said, "Thank you. You made make me blush when we showed her work." Sally says, "I love the D Hardwick designs." Brigitte says it was called a flippy edge shawl. Sally says, "Retrospective and not in the right place. Still had to frog another 6 rows." Yes, use DK yarn, just what she had to her hand, and she will now try the floss. Brigitte says, I put a big stitch marker near the centre of the side of the flippy edge wrap to know which row to do the decrease. And then Brigitte says, I'm sure all that garden work messed up your wrist. I get it when I've cleaned windows and doors, so don't bother with them much anymore, of course. Yeah, I don't do windows and doors, but unfortunately the garden does have to be done. And when I'm being paid to sit around not do anything, I kind of have to do it. Not fair to leave it all for Gary. So, but I am going to take a couple of days off. That's what the kind of argument in my head was yesterday, because I wasn't getting a lot of sympathy. Until I went and bought the bandage, and then it was like, oh, is it really that bad? Yes, it's that bad, dear.
Aww.
Well, if you want, I can lend you a full wrist. What hand is it? Your right hand, isn't it? Yes, I've probably got a wrist brace that'll fit if you fancy some extra sympathy.
Yeah. Well, I've got a wrist brace in. I think I've got one in the cupboard anyway, but I just wanted to try a bandage because the thing with wrist braces, I find they can get really tight really quickly. Whereas this is just relieving enough of the pressure.
Well, I was just purely thinking it from for effect rather than for treatment, you know.
Oh, thank you. So, ladies, what are you up to for the rest of the day?
No, you go first.
Okay. Well, it's the first day of term today, so I'm probably going to get some email inquiries from some of my students. I have set all their work on an online platform, so it shouldn't be too many arguments on that front. But I'm expecting some emails in. I did have a big shop in several shops this morning, so that all needs unpacking and dealing with. But the good thing is I shouldn't have to go out for the rest of the week now. And then start cutting out fabric for some headbands for the NHS. So there we go.
And Angela, what are you up to today?
Well, I've already made dinner for my mum. So she doesn't like tough meat. So I've put her pork in a slow cooker with paprika and stuff like that. So she'll have a nice dinner later. I'm having a big pork chop that's just going to be eaten and devoured off the bone, which is brilliant. We will be FaceTiming my dad later on. And we've got a lovely email to get out to you yourselves, so we can capture all of these little things that we've suggested or recommended, so you never lose anything. So I've got quite a bit of work on this too. So mine's all internet stuff, all stuff that I really enjoy doing, and I'll suddenly look at my watch and it will be about 9:30 tonight.
Yes.
So little things. We can sort of confirm it now because I paid for it, so it's fine. So on Saturday, I had a really exciting day. I purchased.
It was stressful.
What?
It was stressful.
What, Saturday?
Yeah, when we were talking at 8-9 o'clock at night, it was really stressful.
But I enjoy that. I love the adrenaline rush. So we have purchased the Gogglefrogs hashtag. Woo! So we've got our Pinterest page, we've got our Twitter page, we've got every page now. So that's all done. So I was madly trying to get everything purchased and everything done for hours and hours and hours. So so all of that's done, and I know it's really stressful, but I really love that adrenaline rush all the time. And I knew I couldn't say anything until I'd purchased it. So the hashtag is now done, which means every time we put the hashtag Gogglefrogs, it will start linking us, and all of the algorithms behind all the systems will start to work. So I love all that stuff. So we've got a few ideas as to how we can help people in the knitting community to get them better at what they do. So lots of ideas behind the scenes. But another frantic few hours, I would imagine, of doing emails. But I think Robert's seen what happens sending one email out when you have, I think I've got about 5 different systems linked now. And I said to him, I have no idea what I've done. I've just done what I think I need to do.
Okay.
So I think everything's running from one system to another to another to another.
Yeah.
And I'm not a coder, I'm not a developer, I've just learned all this stuff myself. And then in the end, I just sent an email and said, can you click return and test? And it works. So we both get the emails back. And I have no idea how I've done it, but it's all done now.
Excellent.
And it was just stressful.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, but all that good stuff, getting all the systems sort of set up is I really enjoy. So that's where this sort of this laptop, which Robert has thankfully lent me,
Yeah.
because on my laptop that I do everything on, I can't turn the mic on.
Oh.
So I can set up all these systems and get everything working together.
Can't you?
No problem. But I can't even find out why Demio won't let my mic work. I've got no idea, and I can't be bothered to spend any more time on that. So I'm constantly on 2 laptops as well. So there'll probably be more stress at 8, 9 o'clock at night. I'll leave you out of it today because you've got a pearly wrist.
Bless you.
Oh dear.
Oh,
I didn't know you.
So
There we go. I'll look it up.
you what? You didn't know what?
I didn't know you buy hashtags.
Yes, I use a lovely little company, and I just love saying the name. It's called Twubs.
Nice.
So you purchase hashtags from a company called I use Twubs. You can just get one, or you can buy one, and then it's yours. So you're paying for it every year.
Right.
And then what they do is they link every time it's used on every little social media platform. So yeah, I love Twubs.
I'll look at it.
So Helen has joined and said, good morning, everyone. Morning, Helen. And she shared the Gogglefrog details with the guild. So that's
Thank
good.
you.
And for those watching live or on the replay, if you want to share with people, the more the merrier. Yes, we will be here. Unfortunately, it's time to finish for today. That went by really quick, didn't it?
Oh, it has. I've only got a row done. I don't even think I've done a full row.
So unfortunately, it's time to finish for the day. So whatever you're up to this afternoon, have a lovely afternoon, and we are back again at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.